Hi everyone and welcome to what is probably going to be the final reading vlog of 2024. It's currently the week before Christmas and my plan is to run this vlog until just after Christmas. So around 10 days, which I feel is a good length for a vlog like this, where we're going to be getting productive, we're going to be smashing out my end of year content, and also hopefully there's going to be some fun celebratory stuff going on. It's currently my birthday. I possibly should have opened by saying that. It's currently my birthday today. It is coming up on 9:30 in the morning and I'm waiting for my dad to get here because we're going out for breakfast this morning. Then the plan is we're gonna go to a board game cafe this afternoon for a few hours, and then I also need to finish off my Christmas shopping, which I'm not excited about. I usually like to have it done before today. Like, I prefer to get my Christmas shopping done before my birthday because I like my birthday to be about my birthday. I haven't done it this year. I have been a little more unorganised, shall we say. So we're gonna do that. I only have a few more bits and pieces that I need to pick up, to be fair. Then my mum is coming round this afternoon. Well, not this afternoon, this evening after she's finished work. So that is the plan for my birthday. We're going to keep it low-key this year because it's not, well, I was going to say it's not a special birthday. All birthdays should be special, but it's not like a milestone birthday, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that is the plan for today. I did also start a new book last night. Why am I struggling with my words today? It's because I'm just so excited because it's my birthday. But yeah, I started a new book last night. I started reading Feybound by Sarah Alarifi, which is the only book that I now need to read for the Waterstones project that I've been doing. I've basically been reading all of the books that have been chosen as Waterstones sci-fi and fantasy books of the month in 2024. So that is the last book that I need to read. I read about 50 pages last night and it's okay so far. Don't really have strong feelings either way. I actually tried to listen to the audiobook for this a few weeks ago and I was struggling to process the world building, so I'm glad I restarted it and I'm now reading it on my Kindle. This is a romantasy, although right now I'm not sure how prominent the romantic elements are going to be. This is the problem that I have with romantasy, is I don't trust publishers when it comes to romantasy, because it feels like if a book has fantasy and it has romance, then it's going to be labelled as a romantasy, and I don't know what the balance is going to be. I feel like this is going to be predominantly fantasy, but it's also going to have some strong romantic elements. So yeah, like I said, don't have strong feelings on it so far. It's about two sisters and one of them is exiled. It's set in this world where many years ago these three gods created three different species. So they created humans, elves and the fae. However, the elves think they are the only species left, but seeing as how it's called Feybound, you can probably guess that they find out that they are not the only species who are still occupying this planet or this land. So yeah, very excited to properly get stuck into that as we go through the week. And then I don't know what book I want to end the year with. I was thinking a cozy fantasy because it is a cozy time of year. I could read the sequel to the Dalagut Dream Department Store, which I read a few weeks ago and really enjoyed. That was also chosen as a Waterstones book of the month in 2024. However, I wasn't going to read it because it's a sequel and I don't like that they chose a sequel as their book of the month. It's the principle of it. So I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to read that before I film my Waterstones wrap up. I did really like the first book though, so it would be good to read it and then I can finish off a series before the end of the year, or I could just pick up a sequel to a series that I started way earlier in the year. All of these options, but either way, I know that I want to film my best books of the year at some point this weekend come in, because if I don't film it this weekend, then I'm going to really struggle to film it after Christmas and before New Year, and I want it to go up probably on the last day of the year, or at least the first day of 2025. I haven't decided my schedule yet. I am just not very organised when it comes to anything booktube related. I think it's because I have to be so organised in my day job. When it comes to my hobbies, I'm just like, yeah, everything is fine. I do want to film my 2025 reading and channel goals as well at some point, because again, I would like that to go live at some point in the next few weeks. But yeah, I feel like this has been quite a rambly introduction to the vlog, so I'm gonna continue to get ready before my dad gets here. I also need to reply to some messages because people have been messaging me this morning and I have just been lazing in bed because I've booked the day off work and it just feels good to have a relaxing start to the morning. But yeah, welcome to the vlog and I hope you enjoy.
Every minute slipping by, even when I close my eyes.
I thought I would quickly check in with you because I haven't spoken to you since yesterday morning, and I wanted to show a couple of bits and pieces that I got for my birthday yesterday. I'm not going to show you everything, however I did get a couple of things that are bookish related and I thought it might be quite nice to include them in the vlog. So first up, I did get some books. However, these are not books that are going on my TBR because these are special editions of books that I've already read, and this is how you can tell that my partner knows me too well, because I was looking at these books when we went to Bath a few months ago and I talked myself out of buying them because I didn't want to carry them around with me, and then I completely forgot about them. But he got me the Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents by Octavia Butler. So these I think are actually the broken binding special editions because they have the beautiful stenciled edges. I don't know if that is even going to focus, but I will see if I can show you them both together. I think these editions are stunning. Even without the stenciled edges, I think they are beautifully designed, and even under the dust jacket as well, they have quotes from the book, which I think is a nice touch. When I read these earlier this year, I listened to the audiobook, so I don't actually have physical copies of these, but I do now, and spoiler alert, this is one of my favourite books of the year, which is a video that I need to film this weekend, and I am not prepared. My sister then got me this adorable Kindle case, which has a little fox on it, and it's one of those where your Kindle clips inside and it has like a stand, so you can wrap it around and it's magnetized, and then you can like stand it up like that, or you can use this little bit to kind of hold it and it feels more secure. I really needed one of these, and I knew that she was going to get me a Kindle case because she messaged me asking what type of Kindle I have. I did used to have a Kindle case when I had my old Kindle, but obviously when I upgraded to the Paperwhite it didn't fit anymore, and every time I travel with this I end up just putting it loose in my bag. It's a miracle that I haven't scratched it to pieces by this point. So yeah, very excited to have this as well. I think that's everything that I wanted to show you. My mum got me yoga stuff, which was again a great gift because I've been really getting into yoga recently. It was a great day overall, and I am now in full-on Christmas planning mode and also end of year content planning mode. So my last day of work is Friday before the Christmas holidays, and then I want this weekend to be a content filming weekend. So realistically I know that I'm probably only going to finish another one, maybe two books before the end of the year. I am also listening to an audiobook at the moment. I'm listening to Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz, which I will talk to you about once I've finished it because I only have about 45 minutes left. So I know that I'm probably going to finish that before the end of the week, and then I'm also hoping to finish Feybound, and then I might pick up another book in between Christmas and New Year, but I'll probably read a sequel because I don't tend to include sequels in my best books of the year list. I think I have a couple this year, but I think I'll deliberately read something that I think I'm going to enjoy but is probably not going to be a favourite, and that way I can pre-film my best books of the year.
It's the end of the year. Everywhere on TV, couples and Christmas trees, gift wrapping and cheer. Just the worst time to be with someone special. In all the movies there, kissing in the snow, holding hands and mittens, baking together at home. Not like the movies when I'm walking in the snow, cold hands and mittens, eating gingerbread home alone. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, snowflakes in my hair, carols playing in the air. I dream of December nights, kissing under bright lights, red bow in my hair, sleigh bells in the air. The only thing I'm missing is you.
I come to you with reading updates, and I am not going to promise that these reading updates are going to be coherent because it's my last day of work before I finish for the year and my brain has left the building. So while I'm on my lunch break, I thought I would just have a quick chat with you, but I'm not going to promise that these thoughts are going to be very helpful. I finished a book yesterday, that's what I wanted to say. So I think I told you I was listening to Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz, which is a memoir. For anyone who doesn't know, Bethany Joy Lenz was in One Tree Hill. And I always knew that she was religious because I started watching the series after it had finished airing, and I knew that there were certain decisions that were made with her character that were influenced by her religion, or her religious beliefs, I should say. What I didn't know, and what this book is about, is the 10 years that she spent in a cult. And it is honestly horrifying and heartbreaking how this happened to her. There was something really poignant that she said at the end of the book where she says that when she tells people that she was in a cult, they want to hear all the juicy details, and that's not really what this book is about. It was a very small cult that she was part of. Basically, when she was around 20, she moved to LA because she was doing acting. She started going to this Bible study group, which is where she fell into this cult. I think what she wanted to get across with this book is how easy it was for these people to start controlling her life, and how easy it was for them to manipulate her, and I think that really did come across. Would really recommend the audiobook if you are interested in this, because there's parts where you can really hear the emotion in her voice, especially towards the end. She starts talking about her daughter, and it was really heartbreaking, but I thought it was a really powerful listening experience. So yeah, I would really recommend that. I don't tend to rate memoirs, but I would give this 5 stars. I haven't listened to, or I haven't read any other memoirs this year. Even if I had though, I think this would be my favourite non-fiction book of the year. So very glad that I decided to pick that up. I have also now gotten halfway through Feybound by Sarah Alarifi. I think I'm like 48% of the way through, and I'm not really enjoying this. I'm not hating it either. It's feeling very mid at the moment. It has a lot of potential, and I think that's why I'm finding it frustrating, because I think this world could be really interesting. We're following these 2 sisters who are elves, and they end up being taken by the Fae, and they're learning about the Fae court. And I think the one thing that I'm finding frustrating is that the Fae are very different to the elves, and so these sisters are in this situation that is completely unfamiliar to them, but instead of acknowledging that, there keeps being these moments where someone will say something and they'll be like, well, that's not true. It's like they don't have the capacity to understand that the elves are different to the Fae. I don't know whether it was the author's intention for them to be frustrating, but I am finding them frustrating, and I usually love books that feature sister relationships. That's what's so frustrating, is that I think this has potential, but I'm just not really loving the characters. I also am not really invested in the romance. If I'm reading the signs right, then I think both sisters have romantic interests, and the male-female pairing I just don't care about at all. I feel like I'm just being told that they like each other, and it just feels very over-dramatised and not really my kind of thing. The sapphic romance I'm a little more intrigued by, but again, I feel like I need just a little more. I'm not really feeling the chemistry right now, so yeah, a little disappointing, but I still have half a book to go, so we'll see if anything changes in this second half. I am going out tonight, so I'm probably not going to get much reading done unless I try the audiobook again. The reason I didn't like the audiobook the first time is because I was struggling to grasp the world building. However, even reading it physically, I'm still not really grasping the world building, so I don't think it was the audiobook. I think it was just the book. Maybe I will try the audiobook while I'm driving tonight. I've got to drive to my mum's after work, and then we're going into Birmingham tonight because we're seeing the Book of Mormon, which I'm really excited about. I have seen it before, but my mum hasn't, so yeah, it's going to be a nice evening. And then, as I've already said in this vlog, this weekend is hopefully going to be productive, and I'm going to get lots of filming done. So I have made it to the end of part 2 in Feybound, and unfortunately I'm a little disappointed. It is so difficult to find diverse romantasy books, and maybe my expectations going into this were a little too high. While I do think that the sapphic pairing is a little more interesting than the male-female couple, I think it was too ambitious to try and write 2 compelling romances in one book. I think I would be enjoying this a lot more if it was focusing on just one of the sisters, preferably Yirin, because I cannot stand Lettel. She's meant to be, I think, in her late 20s, but she reads much younger to me, and every time she throws one of her teenage drops, it just makes me roll my eyes, and I'm losing patience with her. The male love interest has 0 personality. I do not understand what the female main character sees in him or what he sees in her. I feel like there's no grounding for their relationship, and it's just not that convincing. I can't believe that they're in love when we've not been given a reason why they're in love other than they fancy each other, and that's just not enough for me to feel invested. So I am a little disappointed in this. I am going to finish it because I've only got 20% left, but I think this is going to be a 3 stars at the most. It's a shame because I am finding some elements of the world interesting, but these romances, they are just not that interesting. And at this point, I don't think I'm going to pick up the sequel. I am really struggling to talk this evening because I filmed my best books of the year video earlier, and I think I've worn my voice out, but I'm going to try and get through this vlog update. I am really proud of myself actually for filming that video. I managed to film, edit, schedule and subtitle that video within a few hours, so it's now scheduled to go live on Boxing Day, which means you'll probably see it before this vlog goes live. I haven't decided yet when this vlog is going to go live, but this is now the only video that I'm working on until maybe the new year. Actually no, I need to film my January TBR at some point. I also need to film my entire owned TBR, but I might wait until the new year to do that. We'll see how I'm feeling after Christmas, but the reason that I wanted to pop in and update you is because I did end up finishing Feybound by Sarah Al-Arifi, and I'm giving this 3 stars. I really don't have much to say about it. It had some interesting twists towards the end, but a lot of them I kind of predicted. There was one that I didn't see come in, and I thought that was interesting. However, I don't know if I'm that interested enough to continue with the series. I thought this was going to be a duology, so I would have been open to reading book 2. However, it's going to be a trilogy, and I just don't think I can do that to myself, so we'll see. I think the second book might end up going on to BookBeat, which is the audiobook service that I'm currently using, so I might give the audiobook another go, but I'm not the biggest fan of the narrator. The voice that they were doing for Lettle just made her character even more annoying, so yeah, we will see how I'm feeling when that does come out. I think it comes out in a couple of months actually. I did last night decide to start another book. I think I might have mentioned this actually at the start of the vlog, but I'm literally a few chapters into Return to the Dalagut Dream Department Store by Mi Lee. So this is a sequel to a book that I read earlier this month, I think. I'm pretty sure I read it in my cozy festive reading vlog, so I'll try and remember to leave that linked. But this is basically following a woman called Penny, and she gets a job working at this dream department store. So imagine when you fall asleep, before you start dreaming, you go to this in-between land where there are shops that sell dreams, and it's very much about the concept of dreaming, why people dream, and the types of dreams that people have. We're following Penny as she starts working there. That's what the first book is about. In this second book, she has reached her 1-year anniversary, and I think we're going to start delving into the complaints aspect of this dream world, so people who aren't happy with the dreams that they're dreaming. The first book was very cozy and wholesome, and it made me cry, so we will see how I get along with this sequel. I will give you some more reading updates once I'm a little further into this, but I don't know if this is going to be the last book that I read this year. I'm not currently listening to an audiobook, so I could start a new audiobook, but also I don't really feel like it. I feel like I want to take my time with this book and just enjoy these last few days before the end of the year.
I'm not exactly a Christmas cracker. I'm more of a seasonal slacker. I come off like a less green Grinch, and I won't bite my tongue, I won't budge an inch. 'Cause there's so much to organize, so many names to memorize, and herein the problem lies, I can't be bothered. Who's gonna buy the presents and decorate the tree? Ain't got time for Christmas or your family. Who's got room for carols to drink and be merry? Ain't got time for Christmas. Have you got time for me?
It is almost time to wrap up this reading vlog. It is now the 28th of December. It's Saturday and I would like this vlog to go live on Sunday. So even though I am quite tired, I thought I would sit down and just talk through the last few days. It's been almost a week, I think, since I last spoke to the camera, but I have still been filming bits and pieces here and there. You will have seen some footage from the walk that I did on Christmas Eve. Me and my partner went for a walk in the hills not far from us, and and it was very foggy and misty and atmospheric. I'm really glad that I remembered to take my camera because I'm hoping I've got some good shots. I haven't looked back at the footage yet. Hopefully you will have seen that, and also some footage from the rest of that day when we got home and played some board games. On Christmas Day, we went to my mum's in the morning, and then my dad came round in the evening and we played some more board games. I played a lot of board games over the last few days. It's been really good because I love board games. Also, me and my partner both got each other tickets to ride for Christmas. The same present for the second year in a row. This has happened. Last Christmas, we both got each other a puzzle each, as well as a puzzle board that you can use to store puzzles. Kind of self-explanatory. But yeah, for the second year in a row, we have basically got each other the same present. But at least we both like the board game Ticket to Ride. If you haven't played it yet, would really recommend. Then on Boxing Day, we drove up to see my partner's family, and we only got back yesterday afternoon. So it has been a very busy week. I haven't been sleeping very well the past few days. I keep waking up at like 4 in the morning, and then I keep waking up after that every single hour, and it's just not been great. I feel like I'm rambling. Let's get on to the book haul. I got 2 books from my mum this year, and they are both books that I have been very excited about. The first is Butter by Asako Yuzuki. This is a thriller. I believe it was published in Japanese. Yeah, it's a international bestseller. I think this is actually inspired by a real case. I believe this is about a female serial killer, and there's a big focus on food. I think we're also following a journalist who is really curious about this woman, and she starts writing to her in prison asking for her recipes. So very excited to get to this. It's quite a chunky one for a thriller anyway. However, it's blurbed by some authors that I have enjoyed. One of my favourite books of this year was also a translated thriller, so very excited to hopefully pick this up in the new year. I also then got Long Live Evil by Sarah Rees Brennan, which I've heard mixed things about, but mostly positive. The synopsis for this does intrigue me. It's about a young girl or a teenager. I don't think it's YA, I think it is adult. I believe this is about a main character who is diagnosed with a terminal illness. She ends up being sucked into the world of her favourite book series, I believe, except she is the villain of the story. What really made me want to pick this up though is I learned that the author wrote this after she was diagnosed with cancer, and when I looked into it, I think she was diagnosed with a very similar type of cancer to what I had, and I thought I might find this relatable. So yeah, hopefully another one that I will pick up in the new year. This one's also blurbed by Lee Bardugo, who is an author that I tend to have mixed feelings about, but generally I do like her writing. So that is my little mini Christmas book haul. I am at some point going to film a video where I go through my entire own TBR, but I don't think I have the energy to do that this side of the new year. So that is probably going to be a job for January. In terms of a reading update, I finished reading Return to the Dalagut Dream Department Store this morning, and I've given this 4 stars. I really enjoyed this duology. I don't know if there's going to be other books set within this same world. I read the note at the end by the translator, and from the sounds of it, it is a completed duology now. This one didn't hit me in the emotions as much as the first one did. The first one had a whole chapter about grief and it made me sob. This one focused more on mental health and how depression in particular can affect your dreaming, and I did really like that discussion, but it didn't go as deep as I wanted it to. It felt a little too surface level, but I really enjoyed this series anyway. I thought the world was really well developed. So yeah, if you enjoy cozy fantasy, I would recommend picking up this duology. I haven't heard many people talking about it actually on BookTube. I think that is a good place to end this reading vlog though. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments if you have read any of the books that I talked about in this vlog. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and click subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me, but otherwise I will see you next time. Bye!